Hello and welcome to Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. My name is Kelly and I'm a former wedding planner and blogger, and I'm obsessed with weddings. If you're planning a wedding in Ireland, you're in the right place. You're going to learn the tried and tested methods to planning your dream wedding without the added stress. Think of this as your one-stop shop for everything to do with planning your wedding in Ireland, with me, your new wedding planning bestie, and a cup of tea. This is Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. It's destination wedding planning time, and today I have two amazing guest experts who are going to help me to help you plan the perfect destination wedding. I'm going to walk you through a few steps. My guest experts are going to weigh in and share their helpful tips, and then we're going to end with a few bonus FAQs. But why don't we get started with step number one? When it comes to planning a destination wedding, the first thing you want to do is choose your location. Well, here are a couple of things that you can think about when you make that decision. The first thing, you really should visit your ideal location a couple of times before you solidify the decision and before you make any bookings. So you don't want to be booking venues or ceremony venues or any of your suppliers sight unseen. You first want to go to that location and make sure that that's the one that you really do want to tie the knot in, and then you can make your plans. I also recommend understanding the passport and visa requirements and considering if you want your guests to be doing paperwork in the lead-in to your wedding, or if you'd rather pick a location that you know most of your guests can easily travel to. Something else to consider is the local cultural events and religious holidays, which might make your destination of choice extra busy during the time that you are hoping to get married. You also want to research the local weather patterns because, of course, if you're picking a destination wedding, you want to know that you're going to get some really good weather. Now, of course, nothing's guaranteed, but there are some times of the year that certain locations are known for having super sunny, warm, tropical weather. That might be what you're after. Or maybe you're picking a location that's a bit more moody with grey skies and something really cool and different and cozy. Just check the local weather pattern so you know exactly what you're getting in for. And finally, be prepared for language barriers. Just think about it. Do you want to get married in a location that is predominantly an English-speaking location, or do you speak a second language and you would like to get married in a country where you can speak that language? Just consider it. Make sure you understand what you're comfortable with. And with all of these things in mind, you should have a little bit more of a clearer idea about the type of location that you want to get married in. Which brings us to step number 2, which is to get help from the professionals. We had a question in from Michelle who asks, how important is a wedding planner if you book with a wedding directly? Now, this is a great question and one that people tend to ask with whether you're getting married at a special destination or even if you're getting married in your local town. Do you need a wedding planner if you can just book everything with your venue? Well, I had a chat with Elisa from Moments by Elisa. She's a destination wedding planner in Spain, and she helped to understand some of the differences and some of the things that a wedding planner can really help you with, which are really important, especially if you need someone who's on the ground doing the legwork for you at your destination. So why don't we have a listen to what Elisa had to say? I think this is going to really help you to understand the value of a wedding planner, especially for destination weddings.
Hi, it's Elisa here. As a destination wedding planner based in Spain, I can offer some insights into the importance of having a wedding planner, even if you are booking a venue directly. 1. Expertise and local knowledge. We have extensive experience and know-how when it comes to organizing events in specific locations. We can recommend the best venues that suit your style and budget, as well as provide insights into local customs and regulations. 2. Vendor coordination. We will manage all vendor communications and bookings on your behalf. This includes caterers, florists, photographers, and more. We ensure that everyone is on the same page and working towards your vision. 3. Creative vision. We are skilled in transforming spaces and creating unique wedding experience. We can suggest creative ideas and themes that align with your preferences, making your wedding truly memorable. 4. Logistical support, from creating timelines to handling last-minute changes. As a wedding planner, we take care of all the logistical details. This allows you to relax and enjoy your wedding day without worrying about the behind-the-scenes work. 5. Problem solving. If any issues arise during the planning process or on the wedding day itself, we are there to troubleshoot and find a solution quickly and efficiently. In conclusion, while booking a venue directly is a good start, having a wedding planning by your side can elevate your entire wedding experience. We bring expertise, creativity, and peace of mind, ensuring that your destination wedding in Spain is everything you've dreamed of. Let me know if you have any more questions or if I can assist you further in planning your special day.
Well, that was Elisa from Moments by Elisa, and that was incredibly helpful at understanding a little bit about what a wedding planner will do to help elevate your destination wedding. And I'm going to very briefly summarize what she shared. So she shared 5 things. 1, it's the expertise and local knowledge, because remember earlier we spoke about those local customs and religious events and holidays and that kind of thing. Your wedding planner who's on the ground will understand those things. 2, your vendor communications. 3, creative vision. 4, all the logistical support you could ever need. And 5, problem solving, which you don't want to be dealing with when you are planning your wedding or on the day of your wedding. So thank you, Elisa. That was incredibly helpful. I'm going to pop a link to where you can find out more about Elisa and get in touch with her if you are getting married in Spain and you want some wedding planning help. Well, moving on to item number 3, when you're planning your destination wedding, you really need to plan your visits. I had a chat with James from VisitMalta. He's also a destination wedding planner in Malta, and I asked him specifically about a wedding planning timeline. So if you're planning a destination wedding, how many times should you visit your destination before the wedding day, and what kinds of tasks should you hope to achieve during those visits? So if you are looking to book in some visits in your destination wedding location, James has walked us through some really specific things that you can do on those visits to make sure you get the absolute most of every visit that you have. So why don't you have a listen? James really spells it out so perfectly.
Hi, this is James Ellis from Visit Malta, your liaison between the wedding planners of Malta. I've been asked today how many times a couple should look to visit Malta before the big day. This is entirely up to the happy couple, but I would recommend at least once or more if time allows. In terms of tasks to consider during this visit, I think it's a must to have a face-to-face meeting with the actual wedding planner in Malta. Walk around the venues you've selected, do a food tasting, connect with as many of the wedding suppliers, by this I mean the caterers, the florists, the musicians, as possible. This is a really good opportunity to learn about seasonal ingredients, floral species specific to Malta, which would be in season during the special day, and give an opportunity to utilize local products. Lastly, I would suggest visiting some of the wonderful restaurants and hotels on the island, which will be ideal to host family and friends for pre- and post-wedding gatherings. I hope this has been helpful, and please feel free to reach out should you have any questions or require additional information. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Well, that was James from Visit Malta. And yes, James, that was incredibly helpful. Thank you so much for sharing that. So if you are planning your destination wedding, you're booking in a couple of trips, these are the things that James shared that you should be doing on those trips. You want to have a face-to-face meeting with your wedding planner. You want to walk around the venues you've chosen, do a food tasting, connect with your other suppliers, as many of them as you possibly can, and then visit some local restaurants and hotels where you're going to be hosting your friends and family, which is the perfect segue into item number 4 on the destination wedding planning checklist. Before I get to that, let me just let you know, I will post a link to how you can get in touch with James. So if you are planning a wedding in Malta and you need some expert advice, you can contact him and he'd be more than happy to help you. Back to item number 4, when it comes to planning your destination wedding, you want to think about the extra events. Now think of it this way. If everybody is traveling to get to your wedding, if most people are flying somewhere, they're probably not just going to come for one night. They're not going to fly in on the morning of your wedding, attend the wedding, stay over, and then the next day fly back. Most people are going to try and make the most of that time at your wedding, whether it's a weekend and they make it a longer weekend or it's a full week. Whatever it is that you've planned, your guests will want to make the most of it. And you can help them by organizing a couple of events before and after the day to really help your guests enjoy the destination. So just like James said, if you go and visit your destination and you explore some of the restaurants, hotels, and local activities, you can have a bit more thought about what you could do with your guests outside of your official wedding activities. Things like a welcome party, which could be as simple as a barbecue or booking a table at a restaurant and having a meal out. You could host some kind of interactive activity, something like a tour of the location, perhaps, or something like a post-wedding brunch or a day two party, anything you can do the day after the wedding. Now, I hear what you're saying. You're already planning so many things for the wedding that just the thought of planning anything else is probably making you feel a little bit anxious. And if that's you, if you feel like you just don't have the stamina to plan or even enjoy any of those activities, at the very least, something you could do is you could provide your guests with a list of some of the local things that they could enjoy. It could be some of those restaurants that you've checked out. Maybe there are some activities and scenic walks and some local attractions that your guests can really enjoy. You can list them, you can explain where they are, provide some contact details or a website where they can go for more information. But the idea here is to help your guests to enjoy not just your wedding day, but the time surrounding it if they're going to be there for a little bit longer. Now we're going to end with a bonus, which is some destination wedding frequently asked questions. Question number 1, when should I have my destination wedding? Well, of course, it's entirely up to you, but it will depend on your schedule. It depends on the season you want to get married in, and of course, the location that you've chosen. So if you are getting married in a popular location and you don't mind picking a date that's going to be busy, like a peak time, then the months May, June, July, and August are usually really good because those months are they're sunny, they're warm, they're popular, and there'll be a lot of people around. Something worth considering is that those months are also more expensive for travel and accommodation. So just consider when you want to travel and what the implications are. In the same way that you would think about it if you're getting married locally, you'll consider when the peak times are, if that's when you want to get married. So have a think about those different things, but just picture yourself in a different location when making those decisions. FAQ number 2, when should I tell my guests about the destination wedding? Etiquette would suggest that you should aim to send out save the dates at least 12 months before the wedding day and your official invitations 3 to 4 months out as well. And the final FAQ is who pays for the accommodation for guests? Another etiquette one, which suggests that the guests will cover their own travel and accommodation. What you could do is you can make it helpful for them by providing some location options, because you at this point would be a lot more familiar with the destination. You would know how far some of the hotels are from your wedding venue, and so you'd be able to give them some suggestions. And what you could do is you could book a hotel block with your hotel, but then what you will need to do is make it really clear to each guest that even though you've got a hotel block, that each guest will still need to book their own room within that hotel block. Well, I hope that helps you. Thank you so much to Elisa from Moments by Elisa and to James from Visit Malta for weighing in, sharing their expert advice all about destination wedding planning. And thank you for listening today. The Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online podcast is produced by me, Kelly, and mixed, mastered, and edited by Glenn Hartman. For more wedding planning tips, advice, checklists, and more, visit weddingsonline.ie.